Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphanlast, aka Skylar Madison, and I'm coming at you with another Noblefrugal Studio collaboration video where I'm drawing out a background, which will be a background used inside of an animation animated by Noblefrugal Studio, otherwise known as Sebastian. And he has a good little teaching style, as his channel is centered around open tunes, how to use it, things like that. And so yeah, I like his teaching style. I like his videos. If you guys would like to take a look at his channel, a link is supplied inside of the video description below. And with that having been said, what you're looking at on the screen is just more of me just looking at variously different things on the image, specifically this building, that even still right now needs to be refined even more. And I'm just working on that, trying to get things refined, and it's mainly on the other side of the building. The majority of this content, it's not on the shaded side of the building. But yeah, that's pretty much all that you're going to be looking at while I have this little narration here. So yeah, kind of a side topic that I normally don't talk about. Last week, I saw Blade Runner 2046, I think is what it's called. The new Blade Runner, the sequel. Oh my gosh, guys, that is probably the most brilliant movie I've seen in decades. Like, it's just an amazing movie. And it's really sad. It keeps getting all these great reviews, has a great Rotten Tomatoes score, and yet it's bombing in the box office. So if you guys enjoyed the original Blade Runner and you would like to see more of it, make sure you go to the theater, otherwise they're not going to make any more. So like, this is probably one of the most brilliant films I've ever seen. So seriously, I would love to see more content about this world. I'm currently, while I'm working on these videos, I'm listening to Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. It's actually on YouTube as an audiobook. I'm just listening to it while I'm working and everything like that. So seriously, guys, great movie. Now let's talk about VPaint a little bit. Now, the presentation is not finished, so you guys aren't going to get the presentation for this week. It's probably going to be next week or the week after that. It all depends on if I can think of more things to present and more interesting ways to present the variously different features that VPaint has to offer. Now, it's not a full-featured program, so if you guys are thinking that I'm going to be showing off some really cool animations, I'm not. What I'm going to be showing you are okay animations with a really cool workflow. That is what I'm going to be showing, because VPaint is not a full-featured program. You don't have multiple layers or levels to draw your animation on. So there is no rough animation. There is no cleanup stage. It's just you immediately drawing something and trying to make it work, and that can be pretty difficult. And that's some of the reason why I want to get VPaint into OpenToons, because it would flourish in the feature-rich environment of OpenToons. I can see VPaint as just completely flourishing and doing exemplary and really making the animation process faster, easier, and more enjoyable for everyone. So, yeah. So it is a beta. While I've been actually creating this presentation, it's crashed on me probably about 5 times and ruined probably about 5 or 6 30 to 45 minute long recording sessions and presentations and such like that of variously different attributes that VPaint has to offer. And so yeah, I'm kind of struggling a little bit with that regard, but it's still there. I'm about halfway through creating the presentation and everything, and yeah, one of the cool things about VPaint is in between selections. Okay, now what you're able to do is this isn't the only way that you can use it, but you can actually draw 2 pictures. Okay, so you can have, well, let's say you draw out your keyframes and a bunch of breakdowns, and then maybe a few more breakdowns than you would normally have. Okay, you could take the images from one keyframe to a breakdown that's not too distant away from one another, and you can go ahead and select variously different strokes. They're called edges inside of VPaint, and you can select edges from one frame and then go to the next frame, the next breakdown image, and select some more edges, and you set them to be in between selections, and so those parts that you selected would be animated. And so you could do that actually incrementally until all your in-betweens are done, just on the fly, and that really interests me. What also interests me is the idea of being able to actually just it'd be cool to be able to select portions of the X sheet. Now, this is not a promise of one of the features that we'll have once it's put into OpenToons, but it is a cool idea. It would be awesome to be able to select portions of the X sheet on a VPaint layer and actually be able to apply animation curves so that the spacing is executed well, and for the selected frames that you have that are affected by that motion curve, you could the X sheet winds up being those frames wind up actually taking on a new color to signify, okay, this right here is a slow in, slow out, or whatever it is, sort of process. So that would be cool. But with in-between selections, not only are you able to do that, but you're able to actually create a vertice. A vertice is very similar to a control point when you're using the control point editor. And you could go ahead and put that vertice right smack dab on a vanishing point. And you're able to select everything in the scene and have it all animate towards the vertice. And so, like, let's suppose my Crit-alike assistant tool was fully funded and integrated into OpenToons, okay? That not only is that a cool tool all in and of itself on its own, but the very idea that you could select all of your buildings and actually have them move towards the vanishing point is awesome, because that immediately makes it so that it looks like your background is moving away from you. So that means it looks like you're running backwards. Now, if it was inside of OpenToons, you could just select those frames, put them into reverse order, and so now it looks like you're running forward. And then if you needed to turn your head at any point in time, you could just kind of warp everything to a fisheye, perspective grid. Everything that you've already drawn, just warp it, and then we could just at that point, instead of faking a camera movement with an animation, you could actually move the camera at that point, and then just kind of have everything slowly warp back to the the normal straight lines and everything like that. And that would make it so that you could actually like follow a car, and if it takes a 90-degree turn, your head turns a full 90 degrees, and then you could continue following it. And this is all stuff that I believe VPaint will be able to offer, and I'm excited for that. Really excited for that. It is my project, of course. It's a kind of a labor of love and everything. Now, the thing is when I do put this presentation video up. At the very end of the presentation, I am going to have a poll, and it's going to ask, are you willing to donate? And the multiple choice options will be no, or $15, or no, actually it'd be like 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, 75, 100, more than 100. Those would be the multiple choice options with that poll. And I would like to ask you guys, if you're going to take the poll, please be as honest as you can. So, like, if you're 12 years old or something like that, you don't have a job, you don't have a bank account, you have no interest, like, no ability to even donate. I'm not asking if you would be willing to donate, if you could. I'm asking, will you donate? Like, that's literally what I'll be asking for that poll. And if you're 12 years old thinking, yeah, I totally want this feature, I'm going to tell this guy I am totally going to donate, and I have absolutely no intention to donate, but I want this free feature. This feature looks awesome. If my Kickstarter campaign fails, like if it doesn't get funded, then we won't be getting VPaint inside of OpenToons. In fact, it'll be a very, 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 very long time until I make another Kickstarter video. So the odds of us ever getting a VPaint layer will be very unlikely if this Kickstarter fails. So, as it is right now, I have 500 plus subscribers, about 530. So Constantine, he gave me the price of how much it would cost to get VPaint into OpenToons. He said $5,000. Now, technically speaking, if all 500 subscribers were to donate $10, then technically speaking, we could meet that up. We could totally get VPaint into OpenToons. If everyone in my that subscribed to me donated $10, but in all reality, people are only willing to donate like $5, it seems, and it'd be probably more like 25% of my audience. So in all likelihood, even though I'm going to be making this presentation, I'm probably going to have to wait. And even after receiving the poll, if the poll says something like, oh, you're totally going to be overfunded, or even if it says you're just going to barely meet up, or regardless of what it says, it's mainly for me to see, do people want this, and such like that, because really, I am interacting with the internet, and the internet's full of trolls. So, I mean, I'll try to take it in as logically as I can. So anyways, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this video. If you guys would like to take a look at any of my other videos, feel free to take a look, and please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.